Eric was not doing very well. The high school junior was barely getting by with his grades. He hated school. While in class, Eric barely paid attention and would spend more time being the class clown than listening and doing his schoolwork. His lackadaisical attitude was rubbing off on the basketball court too, where he'd fallen out of the starting lineup on the JV team, and his chances of making varsity as a senior weren't looking too good. After seeing his first semester report card that junior year, Eric told his mom, "Let's face it, I don't think I'm cut out to go to college." He added, "The SATs are coming up, but what's the use in even taking them?" Eric's mom was very supportive and encouraged her son to give the SATs a shot. "You have nothing to lose," she told him. "There may be some colleges that you can get into, but you'll never know your capabilities if you don't at least take the test." "Okay, Mom, okay. I'll take the test," he said begrudgingly. The next day, Eric signed up. A month went by. It was test day, and with no surprise, Eric hadn't studied at all. He entered the classroom with a number of other students and found a seat. "Okay, students," said the teacher, "you have 65 minutes for the first section of the test. I wish you all the best of luck." Eric wrote in his name at the top of the test and began. Several days went by, and Eric's behavior worsened. He went to detention for fighting after school and was failing his chemistry class. Eric's mom was stressed and worried about her boy when an email from the SAT board showed up in her inbox. It was Eric's SAT results. After school that day, they read the email together with zero expectations. The screen loaded, and staring them right in the face was his score. 1,500 out of 1,600. They both almost fainted. "What?" Eric's mom screamed. "A 1,500? Is that right? Eric, did you cheat?" "No, Mom, I didn't. I promise," Eric responded. "To be honest, I tried, but everybody's test was different." Eric thought to himself, if I was able to score this well on the SAT, imagine if I actually tried in school. Maybe I am as smart as those honor students. Maybe there's more to me than I give myself credit for. The test results really motivated Eric, and he began to make some changes. He stopped skipping class. He showed up early to basketball practice to work on his jumper. He paid more attention during lectures, and for the first time in his life, he was turning in his homework assignments on time. His mother was thrilled to see Eric finally living up to his potential. Eric was suddenly motivated to give his best shot to attend college. With all of this hard work during his senior year in high school, Eric was able to graduate on time and was accepted to a small 4-year college 2 hours north of his home. He thrived in the college environment and eventually graduated with honors. Years later, Eric became the CEO of a popular sports magazine brand. He was often invited to attend major events as a keynote speaker, and while sharing his life story, would often credit receiving his high SAT score as the turning point in his life. "My self-image really changed after taking that test," he would share. "For once in my life, I actually believed in myself." Just before his 20-year reunion, he and his beautiful wife and their 2 children arrived at his mother's house for Thanksgiving. Once situated in the living room, Eric's mom remembered a piece of mail that had recently arrived for him. She ran and grabbed it from the office. It was from the College Board and the Education Testing Service who developed the SAT. "Eric, this is for you," his mom said, handing him the envelope. Eric opened the letter without giving it much thought. As he read, his focus suddenly became a little more intense. Was he reading this correctly? The ETS was informing Eric that there had been a mistake on his test. While performing an internal audit, they found that over the past 2 decades, a small handful of individuals were sent the wrong test results. They apologized, but his score was actually much lower. "What? How could this be?" Eric muttered. His wife and mother recognized his concern and asked him what was wrong. "Remember that 1,500 I got on my SAT back in high school? Well, there was a mistake. My score was actually only 710. "A 710!" Eric repeated in astonishment. Sensing her son's concern, his mother said, "Who cares about the letter, dear? It's irrelevant now. That mistake was a beautiful thing. It helped you find your true potential." She was right. Even though Eric's grades and SAT results would suggest that his intelligence during high school was average or below average compared to his peers, Eric turned his life around in amazing ways. By having a more positive self-image, his habits, actions, and behaviors all changed for the better, allowing him to realize a future he never could have imagined prior to taking his SATs.